we will lose one of the best resources that we have in the health sector if we are not careful.
Roland.
Lorato, the OSP may be working, but this is giving the government on Nanado Dangoku for the bad publicity. What do you say to this?
Who set up the OSP's office?
Sonato Parliament.
Yes. Whose initiative was it?
The president.
The president's initiative. To do what? To fight corruption. Because we had all been shouting about it, complaining about it, and everybody was hoping and praying that we get to a point where some of these things, most of the investigations the OSP has been coming out, is to do with people in government. I mean, since he came into office, you get it. That should tell you the commitment to fighting corruption. Listening to listening to Nana Akua and listening to Nanaya. Look, nobody gets to the level of a professor by just doing what's normal things. He's achieved. Nobody is taking that away from the good professor. He's done a lot in his field.
What is being taken away?
You get it. So if we sit down here, let me read the statement from the Special Prosecutor's Office, because in the beginning you're talking about updates and all that, and please look at it before you say I'm reading a document that is not valid. It's a public document, so you should have it. So you can be following whilst I read it, unless you want to know it. No, so on the 10th of October 2022, the Office of the Special Prosecutor published that it had commenced investigation into suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses in respect of illegal mining. It was stated that the investigation targeted the activities and expenditure of the dissolved Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, especially in respect of the seizure and management of excavators, machinery, road vehicles, and gold nuggets, and officials of the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, the Forestry Commission, and other public officials and private persons. The OSP acknowledges the recent calls for action and investigations into these matters by the public and civil society, following the publication of a report on parts of these matters authored by a former Minister for Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation and head of the dissolved IMCI. The OSP welcomes the calls for action and investigation, and it assures the public and the civil society that its investigation is ongoing and far-reaching, and it also covers the matters raised in the report published by the head of the dissolved IMCI. The OSP will take necessary action against all persons deemed culpable of corruption and corruption-related offenses.
What you're reading, what's the point?
Fine. Kisie Jabi. Nanaya was talking about getting reports from Auditor General, getting reports from the other agencies. This is a committee that was set up, dissolves as it stands. The chairman of the committee, and Nanaya alluded to the fact that the eyes in that report was too much.
I beg you.
You get it.
Go straight to your
So
point.
there was a committee that was constituted to do a job.
You always want to destroy
Even
people.
before
Why?
Prof's report came out, and we all sat here and agreed to the fact that that report was more personal. He mentioned names in that. Is it because those people haven't come out to say that the special prosecutor has invited them? And in Prof's own words, he said that when he said he was under arrest, they said he can't state some of the questions because he's not sure whether he can put them up. But he said, and from what you played, that they said corruption and corruption-related issues. That is what the Prof said. Unless
You're right.
I'm saying something wrong. Look, he's done what he has to do. He took a responsibility as chairman. Today, when we sit here and appointees and other government functionaries do things, who do we accuse when we sit here? Who does the NDC accuse?
There's the
Who has Nanaya accused?
There's the
It's
perception.
the president.
I have a party
So
where
if you're a
Nanaya-
chairman of a committee, that's one question I asked. I mean, we are not taking away from anything that, but There was a responsibility. As a minister, as a chairman of a committee, issues came up. What did the chairman himself do? Let's assume, without admitting, that all the people he mentioned are guilty. He, as chairman, even before he escalated to the level of the chief of staff or the president, what did he, the chairman, do?
There's a perception that because of all that was revealed in that leaked document, even if this investigation was not linked to that, and the way it has really exposed the presidency and the president, he's being haunted with some of these state machinations.
Expose the president. How?
For his lack of commitment to some of his men who have been indicted by that personal report by Professor Frimpong.
Even before that report became a public document, the OSP, this is the same prof that Shraj cleared. It's a state institution. Did that expose the presidency when he was cleared? Because of the issues with he being a chairman and the issues with his son's company, was that cleared? You know, when we are talking about these things, when we personalize them, then we lose the plot. So it's from what I'm hearing here. So because the prof has done so much for this country and has paid his dues in his field of chosen profession, when issues like this come up,
she says.
How was he treated?
Roland,
you think the way he's been treated is fair?
How was he treated?
I'm asking you, do you think the way he's been treated from your personal point of view?
Prof was invited, and these are his own words. Prof was invited.
Arrested?
He was invited.
He was arrested.
Arrested and bailed?
No. Listen, you can play the tape.
Okay, invited and bailed.
He was written to, right?
Charged.
On the 13th. He honored the invitation. He went. He waited for his lawyers. Said two of them, they went up to the 7th floor, according to his account. The chief investigator came in and said, Prof, you are under arrest. We all know the powers of the OSP. The OSP has the powers.
It's enshrined in that.
Yes, exactly. You are arrested. You have to be bailed. You get it. The account is self-recognizance bail. They went to his house and checked. But Prof says his friend came to bail him. Let's assume that is the case. His friend came to bail him. Roland, what is an arrest? Fundamentally, you are arrested to restrict your movement because you are party to an investigation. He was cleared by Shraj. He was cleared by Shraj based on their mandate. OSP has also been investigating this. And his report has also added other things too. And he's not the only one. There are officials and private people, officials from lands and natural resources being investigated. Private people are being investigated. Are we saying that even before the investigations are done, the OSP should come and give us details to compromise the investigations? Do we really want to get to the bottom of this?
And Akua, a critical issue is, at this point, there seemed to be the public urgency and then the call by the ordinary Ghanaian that the special prosecutor looking at the sensitivity of the matter need to be updating the public as to a very public issue. An inauguration was undertaken for this whole fight against Galamsey, of course, when it started by the media, etc. What do you say to that?
I think I perfectly agree that there should be a statement outlining why the prof was invited. He got there and said he has been arrested. Roland, that is my main point, because even in a company, when you're running your own business and you have a director of the business, Roland, and the director comes out to say, Roland, the cleaner has done this. The guys are supposed to supply water is doing that. Does that. Let's say you own the company or you have the majority of the shares and I am the director. I have written to you that these are the things going on in this company. Roland, how then do you invite me to your office and tell me, Nanekia, I have arrested you, or you are under arrest because you have written XYZ and we are investigating it? No, it shouldn't happen that way.
How should it?
Now, this kind of attitude, Roland, is what is causing a lot of professionals not to get involved in politics. Because as a professional, you would want to serve your country. You would want to do everything to serve your country. But immediately you enter into politics, then all of a sudden, everything changes. It seems as if politicians don't actually, should I narrow it down to the NPP government? They are actually not making any value of the human resources in this country. Because if you are, you will not do this to Professor Frimpong Boateng. Listen, if you have read the what do you call it?
The report.
The report. What he's saying is that he set out to really fight it. He wasn't doing it alone. He was doing it with a group of people. At a point, all of them left. Why did they leave Professor to handle everything all by himself? When we have constituted a committee to do something, alongside when you have realized that, no, as for me, I am not going to take chances. I'm really going to fight this cause to the latter. Then you decide to leave me alone to fight the battle. At the end of the day, he was left all alone to fight the battle. I think at a point he got tired of it and decided that, okay, if the committee has collapsed, let me then write officially to the president outlining what transpired within the committee.
You think that was a good report? Because Ania seems to suggest that it shouldn't have been a personal endeavor.
Yes, I
should
do
have
agree.
been
I do agree.
Very
But
official than it was.
Roland, what we don't know,
And that's the basis for why he's being
what
mistreated.
we don't know is the relationship.
If he is at all.
Is the relationship between Prof and the president. For all you know, they have a personal relationship. If I have a personal relationship with you and you have assigned me to do a job and I'm finding difficulty, Roland, I can write to you directly. I can write to you directly. You can't tell me it's a hearsay or it's a joke. You can't do that. So maybe Prof thought it wise that, okay, in as much as the committee has collapsed, let me write to this my friend who is the president.
On the report went to Chief of Staff.
Yes, it went through the chief of staff. It was supposed to get to the president. No, Larry, let me finish. Let me finish.
Let's speak to facts.
The fact is,
let's speak to facts.
He gave the letter to the chief of staff. Now, the chief of staff should have given it to the president, which I think she did. Lawrence, why are you laughing? And even if she didn't, the president has knowledge of the fact that Prof has written something like that. So as a president of this country, willing to fight Galamsey with all your strength and might, what do you do about this report?
He put his presidency actually on the line, he said.
Exactly, and that is what even surprises me. The kind of things we have trusted this government to do for us that he has failed us. Roland, you have no idea. It's so pathetic. The thought of Akua brings tears into people's eyes. Let me tell you. Because in 2016, when he came to give us all the promises, we thought, oh, we were there, and that he meant it. Now, this is the person that, out of compassion, we voted for. Because he had come 1-2, he wasn't winning. So in the third round, we said, okay, let us try him. After all, he said he would do better. Roland, cedi at 2016 was 6 cedis.
You mean against the dollar?
Yes. Now, cedi today is about 10 something. But last year, it was 15 cedis.
It was 4.2. 2016 was 4.2.
It was 4.2.
Yes.
Okay, last year, it was about 14 something, almost 15 cedis.
It depends on which of the
Roland,
weeks
this
in
government
September
has
you want
really,
to reach.
Roland, this NPP government has really failed Ghanaians.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they have really failed us drastically.
Are you worried for the health of the professor? The way he's been treated?
You see, the black African, the black man is capable of managing his own affairs.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the black man, is capable of managing his own affairs. 2016, some of the things that the NPP said inched towards that. One district, one factory, production or taxes and all
From taxation, let me.
from
You want me to reiterate some of them?
municipal production, all
One
those
district,
things,
one factory,
all those
one
things.
constituency,
one
one dam,
constituency,
one village,
Ghana Beyond Aid.
one constituency,
It was
$1 billion.
inching towards that the black man is capable of managing his own affairs. Professor Frimpong Boateng is an epitome of that. A black man who has managed to be at the top of the medical profession. We should celebrate him. You see, Roland, I've asked the question that nobody has
Which
answered.
question did you? Let me write it again.
320 million. Is that why he is being investigated, or it is because of his report? There are two different things.
I didn't know terminals. All of them got to do with the work of the
I
Interim
am
Ministerial
saying that
Committee on
why
Illegal Mining.
is it the report? If it is the report, then it means there are also other names in there who are indicted. If it's the 320 million that they spent, a budget I believe was raised. In the public service, you don't just touch money. You raise a budget. It will be approved by the Ministry of Finance, the Chief Director, the Finance Department. They are all involved. Allowances are approved. So did he just leave the 320 million to spend? How did they have access to? Is it the ministry's money or money that was released from the Ministry of Finance for the project?
Continue.
What kind of allowances? What kind of travels? Whatever it is, was put in the budget for this money to be released? When you are in the ministry, you have a chief director. The money in the ministry, unless this is a special project, so it didn't go through mainstream ministry, we don't know about that. But we need to be very sure of why he was arrested. And if Larato says that he was invited, he wasn't arrested, as long as there is a bail condition to it. You see, as long as there is a bail condition to it, it is an arrest. Yes. It doesn't matter.
2 million.
2 million. It doesn't matter the form. Do you get me? There was an arrest. So we have to, and once there is an arrest, then it means you are saying that there is some criminality. Then you are saying that because you even went to look at where he lives, then you are saying that you should be careful. He might be a flight risk.
Exactly.
And that is why you are going to look at where he lives.
Then you are raising questions about the way he's being treated.
That's it. The point is that so they should let us know whether there has been some corruption or misappropriation of the 320 million Ghana cedis that was voted, or some variation that was voted for the exercise. You see, for Professor Frimpong Boateng has also shown his mettle, because you know what? Today, he did not, I don't know, you had the interview yesterday, he did not even speak about what he was asked, what he has been through. He showed loyalty, he showed mettle, he showed astuteness.
The professor.
Yes, because when he was asked whether he can share what questions he was asked, he said he can. Somebody would have gone on blabbing, but he did not.
Well, I'll come back to you. Mr. Vitus Bang is a legal practitioner. Good morning to you, legal practitioner Bang.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to you all.
Okay. And since you're a legal practitioner and very much aware of the act that is setting up the special prosecutor, would you say that the way the professor is being treated within the act, the meaning of the act itself, is within the law and is fair?
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. For now, I don't have enough facts to believe the contrary. The power of the special prosecutor to arrest is guaranteed under the Special Prosecutor Act and also even under our Constitution and criminal jurisprudence. In fact, a private person can also effect an arrest if the circumstances are right. So for now, he's simply being arrested and subsequently granted bail. I am unable to say that it is not the right thing to be done. However, the processes that will follow thereafter may suggest whether or not the right thing has been done. For instance, if the special prosecutor conducts a thorough investigation and believes that indeed the learned professor has committed an offense, and charge the learned professor before the courts and prove beyond reasonable doubt that the professor has committed those offenses for which he is charged, I think that we will only have to give credit to our legal system. However, there are some perceptions out there in the public domain that may suggest that, okay, the professor is being hunted because of his attempt to fight the Galamsey menace and also the names that have popped up in his report. So that unconsciously is playing the minds of people, and people are seeing this arrest as some kind of witch hunt. But I think that the special prosecutor has a lot of work to do in trying to keep that office sacrosanct, so that people will have belief in that office. And I believe that the conduct of this case will tell. But in any case, he being investigated does not mean that he's ultimately going to be charged for any offense at all.
Okay.
The special prosecutor, after the investigation, may think that no crime was committed by the professor, and there will be no need to charge him before a court of law. Even if he's charged before a court of law, he's presumed innocent until he's proven guilty. So I think that it's early days yet to conclude that something untoward has been done.
All right. Please, in 30 seconds. We're arguing about the difference between arrest and then invitation. Are they coterminous? Because we're told that he's been given or granted bail.
Well, I wouldn't say that every invitation by a law enforcement officer such as the OSP amounts to an arrest. Okay. For a person to be arrested, the law spells out the procedure that must be followed, and the person must be told in clear terms that he or she is under arrest. Okay. He or she must be told of the offense for which is being investigated. He or she must be told of his or her right to legal counsel. He or she must be told of his or her right to remain silent and all of that. So, yes, an invitation and an arrest, they are not necessarily the same, but there can be a thin line. An invitation can be, at some point of an invitation, an arrest could be made. So I believe that probably that is what happened in the Frimpong Boateng case.
Thank you very much. Legal practitioner Vitus Bang giving us an update. And Anea, so now what would you expect the special prosecutor to do in relation to the way the personality of...
We need further particulars on the matter. Because we are all confused whether it is a Galamsey report or it is the money they spent on the meetings. And maybe some accountability has not been done. Which one are we talking about? You say that they are linked, but one is a report by him. It's either you go into it and find out and say that what you are saying is not right. I don't think it warrants an arrest. The other one is the money that was spent. That if you say that the meetings were not done, how come you spent this amount? So we need to be sure which
what
one
exactly is
yes, because everybody is dancing around
for.
it. What is being investigated that he's in the center of it, that he has been billed?
According to the October letter by the special prosecutor,
the May letter.
Okay, so
the updates on the investigation.
Yes, please. So
makes it explicitly clear.
So the interministerial committee and the work of all those, including the leadership and those who work there, is under investigation. No,
but I'm saying that if it's under investigation, why don't you call everybody? Normally, the chairman is the last person to be called, because there are other ministers. I'm talking from public service experience. Especially when this, so that you don't create any form of suspicion.
Because that's what is being done now.
Do you get me? So it's possible that the OSP has some genuine reasons. Maybe he has some genuine, he has some genuine information that we don't even know. But because of what has come up, so if it is the whole thing you are investigating, there are other people involved. Even the people who abandoned the committee, they should be called to find out why did you abandon the committee.
Exactly.
All right.
Do you get me? They should be called. So you don't just zone in on one person, get the person billed, all the drama around it. Yeah. If it's the committee's work, they should even be called. Why did you abandon?
All right.
I don't know why Nanaya
I wanted
wants
to go to
I don't know why.
no,
I don't know. I mean, let's deal with this. I don't know why Nanaya wants to depart from the May 2nd updates of the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
But that's
it's
what I'm
explicit on what they are investigating.
I am saying
and who are the people they are investigating. You get it? All these questions Nanaya is asking.
So
is
why
the
didn't they
reason why
arrest all of them?
there's an investigation.
And it's everybody-
Why didn't they arrest all of them?
Nanaya, let me have my space, please. I
I'm
beg you.
asking you.
Please.
The question is,
The
are
fact
all
that
these people being
other
invited and
people haven't
Yes.
come out, other people haven't come out to say they've been invited, or we haven't heard that people have been invited.
Doesn't
You know
mean-
the number of people who go to the Special Prosecutor's
You see, that
Office
is my
in
dear-
a day.
my
There are
dear-
so many cases going on. I think a couple of months back, they even came out with a list of the investigations
cases,
there.
yeah.
Quite a number.
Roland,
So
you
the
see-
fact that people haven't come, but I think that
The
you see,
issue is that-
we have laws. You get it? Perceptions will be there based on people's understanding of things. But if we really want to do this and get it right, we really want to build the nation as we say, let's stick to the law. And the lawyer you spoke to said nothing different from that. If Professor himself said he went with 2 lawyers,
Roland, I just
then we
want
should
to
be
find
calling
out.
the lawyers to question, his lawyers to question. If really the OSP did something untoward and they sat
see,
down
Roland,
and they didn't do anything about it.
The question that I am
let's
asking-
take the perceptions out and let the laws work so we can get to the bottom of this. Even if it's 100 cities that is in question, the investigations must be done and done with all these questions that you're asking.
I am
At the end
asking
of the
these
day, when
questions-
they are done with their investigations,
please.
they will come out with the
Roland,
special
I am
prosecutor
asking the
has
question
kept us
because
on,
now
has
I want to
updated
find
us, has
out-
released
Listen,
statements.
that is what
So
we
these
all
questions
went to
he's
find
asking,
out.
Nanaya, it's the
all
reason
went
why
to
there's an
find out.
investigation.
Listen to me.
So if there's no investigation, if he had just been charged, taken to court, then we can be asking this question. They are they are investigating. He's part of the whole thing. You get it? The fact that others haven't come out to say, look, the prof has paid his dues in his chosen profession. He's done what he can say. But as we sit now, he took a responsibility, which in his own words didn't turn out well. It involves taxpayers' money. We've all been screaming about
Like the
corruption.
National Cathedral.
It has to be investigated.
we need
He's
answers to the
a-
questions Nanaya is asking. We need answers to the questions Nanaya is asking.
No, but why is it?
Because you can't-
We need answers to what she's asking. Asking you that is everybody being invited.
Please.
That is what she's
Please,
asking.
Is the
please.
Why exactly?
Why is the OSP
what were you- please,
investigating?
don't talk over each other, it's okay.
Is
So what do you
everybody
say?
being arrested in this matter?
What is an
Or is it
investigation?
just the prof who
To
has
get
been
the facts
arrested
of
in
the
this
issues.
matter?
Roland, what?
No,
I'm
Lord,
asking-
you must get us right.
There are issues
I am
that have
asking,
to be
listen, I am
investigated.
asking
They have
these
updated
questions.
us. Why do we want to depart
Please,
from
I'm
it?
asking these questions.
It's a valid question.
Yes, because we need to know what is being
Exactly.
investigated. Is it you are not OSP?
Is it the report or is the money?
Because the
No,
report.
I think you need to read
you
the
get me?
OSP's
Is it
updates.
the report?
Maybe it will help.
It wasn't captured
You
in
need
the
to
update.
read that.
It wasn't captured in the
I
You
wasn't
need to
there.
read that update.
It wasn't captured
My
in
dear,
the
It's
update.
explicit on what they are
when you
relating,
look at the
investigating
report,
and who they are investigating.
there are people who are
let's
in
be
there. Do you
very
get me? There
careful in
are
some of
people
these
who are
things.
in there. Their names are in the report. Some
Yes.
for me, I see that this.
The fact that they haven't said they've
They are red herrings.
investigated means they haven't
No,
investigated.
please.
Laura, that's not what we are
Please, we
saying.
are
That's
getting
not
out
what
of
we are
hand.
saying.
Please, I beg you.
We are
Let's be fair.
saying
Because
that
the point
is
is that
everybody
there are
being
other
arrested in
names.
this matter,
Do you get
or
me?
it's only the
There are
prof?
other names
This is what
in
we
there.
do. Then it becomes an issue. We throw it
and
away.
for me,
But
Then
this
we
is
are
a
the
big
same
issue,
people.
Laura, to
Yes.
say.
So don't let us
Roland,
trivialize
please.
it.
The point is that there are other names in there. That means I'm fair.
Exactly.
Some of the names were not. For instance, a call that Gabby put through, speaking for somebody, asking questions. It shouldn't have been in the report because we all do it, Roland. If sometimes I get into trouble, maybe I cross the red line or something, the red light. I have a friend, a policeman. Sometimes you inadvertently you call the person. I will call Nana Kwame Dompe right and say that
So
Nana.
you're saying it shouldn't have been in a formal report?
It shouldn't be a formal report because it was an aside. Do you get me? It was an aside. Maybe somebody.
But this was written personally to the president.
That is what I am saying. I mentioned that. Do you get it? But there are other people who have been indicted.
All right.
Where are they? Maybe
Would they also be called and told
arrested.
you are arrested?
See, now, you
That's
see,
the
the point
question we
here
are
is that
asking.
if Prof was called and questioned that Prof, you brought this thing here, these are your words. It's not even committee's words.
Exactly.
These are your own words. There are a lot of eyes in there, which makes it personal. And we want to find out what actually happened. Do you get me? So that one, he can be called. But if the person is called, is arrested, is bailed, then it means there's some
a problem.
criminality. And the report that Prof wrote, he didn't say that on the face of it, we didn't see anything that points to him.
Okay.
So is there
But he
anything?
he used I.
No, if I say I am talking about, he didn't indict himself.
Okay.
So if there's a further investigation that has shown that he's indicted and that he should be called and arrested and bailed, the man is ruffled. You see, we cannot.
You can clearly see that
we
it's
cannot
Roland, don't let
dichotomize. You
us
see, please, you
trivialize
cannot
this issue.
dichotomize.
Nobody is
There's an
trivializing.
investigation
Please tell Lara
going
to
on.
keep quiet.
And we have the
Now-
right to
now
ask questions.
our
That's
Marchi
why
team-
we cannot talk.
So we can't
talk.
ask questions.
Our
We can't
Marchi
ask
team.
questions.
Can I have the space? Can I have the space?
Ask questions.
You're not the investigator.
Our Marchi team from Unia, led by Captain Smart, were attacked or have been attacked in Obuasi. All right, our Marchi team, please. Our Marchi team, led by Captain Smart, have been attacked in Obuasi. They started doing live broadcasts since the whole of yesterday, and we have one of our lead producers, Antaro. Ms. Antaro, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me what exactly happened regarding this incident, please.
Okay, so this is that's the name of the program that we produce. The show goes to the community and then discuss what's bothering them. So we decided to come to something manage that ongoing. This morning, as we are about to start, it was like we can't shoot. Started taking off our banners, our equipment, and all that. Started putting and all that.
Any injuries to the team? Where is the team currently?
Right.
Hello, Antaro. Okay, so the latest we're getting is that our Marchi team, that is led by Captain Smart and the other hosts, they since yesterday or the last 3 days have been, or the last 2 days have been in Obuasi, having a live broadcast, and they have been attacked in one of the areas or communities where they were about to undertake this live broadcast. Now, we've already had information from our lead producer on the ground, Ms. Antaro, that the police have now come to the ground to make sure there's some level of sanity. But it also means that the broadcast has been truncated. What we want to know is the state of the team, the members of the team led by Captain Smart in Obuasi, and why they were attacked, and if the police can provide some answers. So we'll bring you. The latest we're getting is that the marching team led by Captain Smart from Unia, our sister station right here at Media General, they have been attacked in Obuasi. And we're getting into the issues to get to know why they were attacked, who did the attack, who instigated the attack, and what's the reason why this attack took place on the journalists and the production team. Well, this, I'm getting this from Samson Ladia and Yanini, who says that Lorato is right, fair to the facts. We know that some 8 others, including the names in the Prophet report, were also are invited, put under arrest and granted bail in the ongoing investigations. Questions: who put out the information about the Prof's encounter, and who are left to be questioned, and what eventually will happen to them? But not granting himself recognizance bail, he's wondering whether it's procedural or not. We'll see how that goes, please. So the latest we're getting, our Marchi team led by Captain Smart, the rest of the production team, they have been attacked by some miscreants and unknown persons in Obuasi. They've been undertaking a live broadcast over the last 2 days. We've seen that the police are on the ground. These are live pictures we're bringing to you. Attack on the broadcast team from Onuamachi, led by Captain Smart and the rest of the team. And we're getting into these matters to get to know why they were attacked. Look, we've had Avle from the NDC. Thank you for joining me.
I wanted to talk about St. North.
What about it?
Yes, I wanted to say that and the NDC.
We're not discussing that. So our time is up. And then also General Secretary for the CPP, the distinguished Nanaya Chimpim Jantwa. Loratu Musasaka is also here.
We are winning the seat
the
for
NPP has a candidate without any legal issues.
You have a candidate.
Yes.
So
we are going for this election. Charles Opoku.
Yes.
Congratulations to him. He has no legal issues.
We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more, including the latest sports update right here on the show.